Hello and welcome to Papercrafting Playdate. My name is Robin Armbrecht at Really Robin Stamps. Thank you so much for being with me today. It is January 10th, 2025. Happy New Year. And we have a whole new year of Playdates to look forward to. This is a Friday and it is very snowy here today, which is not very typical for Springfield, Illinois, but I've got my snowman shirt on and my snowman earrings from my good friend Pat. I'm going to show that up close to you. Aren't those so cute? So I've got all the gear on for a snowy stamping day, and I hope that you are ready to do something easy. We're going to keep it so simple today, something that you can do as soon as the video is over, the tutorial. You can take the information and go make a set of cards very quickly. It's nice to kind of keep things simple right after the chaos of Christmas, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So if you are joining me live, please participate in the chat. Say hello to all your friends. I see that you are here. Wonderful. I don't see any Facebook friends yet. And we're going to get started. So we have a brand new selection of products that just started this week. We have Celebration going on. We have a new mini catalog, and then there were online exclusives released this week as well. There is so much new product available right now that it is almost overwhelming. There's so much good stuff. So what I planned to do is not show you all of it because that would be crazy. And I'm just going to focus on a template that will showcase some of the, just about all of the designer series papers that are in this new catalog. So that's what we're going to do to dive into all of this new stuff. And that's what we're going to do. There we go. Oh, I see a Facebook comment. Welcome, Facebook friends. Say hello. And I am going to talk about one more thing. I haven't done this for a month. Forget what I'm doing. This is my reward for this month. This is a card making kit that you can earn with a $50 order placed through me using my host code for the month. This one is making a one sheet wonder template that makes 4 note cards. So I've got 4 note cards and envelopes, some iridescent ribbon, some little focal points with some bright colors, and there's also, to go with the iridescent ribbon, there is these beautiful iridescent starburst embellishments, and you're going to get 3 beautiful pieces of full of life paper that's going to be perfect for this one sheet wonder. I think you'll like that. So that is the reward. Now, the cool thing about Celebration, which is January and February 2025, is that for every $60 that you spend on whatever you want, you get to pick one of the items in the Celebration brochure for free. And there's 12 different things you can choose from for every $60. There's a couple of items that are a little bit larger, like this beautiful big stamp set here, and then this bundle here, perfect for kind of perfect for Valentine's Day with the beautiful hearts. Those are free with a $120 purchase. So this is a great time to shop if you like to get stuff for free. So we will talk more about Celebration, but that's going on right now, and the new mini catalog and online exclusives. So much. Okay, let's put this over here, and I'm going to stand up and get started on our template. Okay, so this is template number 29, and I'm calling it Quadrangles, 3 quadrangles, because the shapes we're going to cut are all irregular rectangles. So a quadrangle is just a general term for a shape that has four connected sides. And most of the time, when you're talking about the shape we're talking about, they call that usually a trapezium, especially if none of the sides are parallel. This one actually has parallel sides here. So not to get too geometric, we're just going to call it 3 quadrangles. And it's very easy to put together and make a set of cards. So what you're going to need are 3 card bases, 3 pieces of designer series paper or cardstock. They are cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I'm suggesting that you also grab 3 pieces of copy paper or scratch paper, the same size as the designer series paper. That's just going to make assembling a little bit easier. And then you just need focal points. That's it. Nice and easy. So let me showcase this paper for you that I'm going to use on this first card. If you are a fan of yellow, this paper pack should be screaming your name. This one is called Floral Delight, and it is 12 by 12 paper. There's also some vellum that goes with this beautiful suite. I'm on pages 34 and 35 of the mini catalog. I'm just going to focus on the designer series paper. And let me share the sides with you. So there are 6 very beautiful floral sides. Okay, so you can see yellow spring-like flowers in all different kind of shapes and designs. Bigger ones, kind of looks like a marigold, a chrysanthemum maybe, a mum. I don't know what these are. Beautiful. So that's the A side. And then the B sides have smaller patterns with coordinating designs. So when you're thinking about doing this template, and you're going to pick 3 different pieces, I suggest that you pick one piece that has multiple colors and a real easy design that kind of showcases all the colors. So that's why I went with this one, because it also has a little bit of a pool party background. So this was the piece I picked first. And then you want to pick 2 other pieces that really just coordinate and like enhance that pattern. And so I wouldn't want to put necessarily another busy flower pattern, even though they have the same colors in them, and it would work. But if you really want to showcase the patterns, you want to get some contrast there. So it's nice to pick out one of the colors in the paper, and if there's something that goes with it, that is kind of just a real subtle design, to use that. So I could use either of these because we've got this beautiful crumb cake brown color inside of the flowers here. So that brown is going to look really pretty. And of course the leaves are green. So either of those would be a great accent color. So I picked the green. And then you want to just pick something else that is like a contrast, not just in color, but in design. So this is kind of just a soft floral pattern. And so if you could put stripes or dots or some kind of other geometric pattern with it, it's going to really like bounce off of each other, right? So I went ahead with the gingham because, right, it's just so pretty. But you could definitely use this other beautiful geometric pattern. That would really look so nice. And here's the other one. And then here's kind of a stripe and a really light white stripe. So that would look really good together as well. Okay, so just keep those things in mind when you're looking at your package of designer series paper and you want to make this template or something similar where it uses multiple pieces of designer series paper. Just look for those start with your one piece that kind of has all the colors you want to use, and then add some pieces that are just going to like enhance and kind of contrast and build in with that. Here is the vellum that you can get separate, so it kind of brings in more of the pool party blue color. Another gingham, just a beautiful blue gingham, and then some blue with white flowers. And then this one has multiple colors on. This one's beautiful too. So that's exciting. We get to use some vellum here. Okay, so let's make our card. So what we're going to do is also combine this design with a stack, cut, and shuffle. Because of the way you cut and put the papers together, it lends itself to doing 3 cards at one time. That's what makes it easiest to do. And so you're going to cut all 3 pieces at one time with your paper cutter. Let's just move this over. So I'm going to move this one back here because this one is plain and it's going to help me make my measurements. So all you need to do is take a little pencil and you're going to measure 1 1/4 inches on the top from the top left. And then you're going to measure 2 inches from the bottom left corner. And that's going to be this line right here. And that's where we're going to cut first. But I'm going to go ahead and mark this as long as I've got my paper here. And this is 2 3/4 inch from up from the bottom right. And then we'll mark this one once we cut this. Okay, so now that you've got those little marks on there, I'm going to just stack those. So this is a stack, cut, and shuffle. So we're stacking the paper. I'm going to line up those 2 marks. You probably can't see them, but here's my mark. I'm putting it right on the cutting line, right in that groove. And then here's the other one. So I'm not putting it up against the edge of my paper cutter because I'm cutting this at an angle. So there is the first cut. I'm just going to keep that over there. And now we can make our final measurement, which is up 2 inches from this angle. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to just turn it and I'm going to line up these 2 pencil marks and make that cut. So we're going to put them back together like that. Now, once you do this a couple times, you can just eyeball these because I'm just giving you general guidance for the angles here, but these angles can be different. So once you kind of get the feel of the sizes of those 3 different quadrangles, then you can just, you don't have to mark it with a pencil every time. So what we're going to do is so we stacked it, we cut it, now we have to shuffle. Okay, so one of the piles you don't shuffle, so I'm leaving this one that I'm just calling quad 1 as is with the green on the top. Then we're going to just go around to the other piles. So I'm going to take the next pile and shuffle it 1 time, and then the last pile I'm going to shuffle it 2 times so that we see all 3 different patterns at the same time. That's it. So easy. Let's zoom in just a little bit. And now our job is to glue them together. So I'm going to put these card fronts onto some Lemon Lolly card bases because the colors in this paper are Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight, Peach Pie, Pool Party, Old Olive, and Crumb Cake. And so I decided to use the lightest yellow for my card base. Now you could absolutely just glue these right onto your card base, but if you kind of like a really precise finish, you might want to use this copy paper as an extra step because it'll allow you to trim just in case you glue something crooked, or maybe you cut something a little more crooked. So now we just reassemble these. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a lot of little gluing here while I put together these 3 card fronts. So I would love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me what you're working on in your craft room. Aren't those patterns really pretty together? So because of the angles, I always say this with angles and diagonal cuts, it always just like ups the interest of the card front. It just is a really pleasing or more interesting, I guess, way to cut your designer series paper. So we have done stack, cut, and shuffles before. They're so much fun. I think this is maybe the 3rd or 4th different design that I've put out there. So if you love this technique and you want to make some simple cards and multiple cards at once, go ahead and just search for stack, cut, and shuffle. On my website, you can look on Pinterest for even more ideas that other demonstrators have come up with. So each one is going to have those pieces in a different spot. And it kind of showcases a different combination of the patterns. I'm so sorry, I'm going to butcher your name. Ineke. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, so I don't even want to try to do that and not do a good job at it. But she says that one of the sheets in this looks just like winter jasmine, which blooms from November to the end of March. Where are you from that you have winter jasmine? That sounds amazing. I wonder if that is the design that kind of looks more like tiny flowers. Okay, so I actually did pretty well on these. I don't have any copy paper showing. Nothing really needs to be trimmed. Okay, now you could take this and send it through an embossing folder right now and emboss a pattern on this. This kind of will look kind of a little bit like a crazy quilt. When you do that, it's gorgeous. Or you can just glue it right onto your card front. See a pencil mark here. Hey, Cheryl. Hi, Karen. Hey, Linda. Are the kittens sleeping? I don't know what they're doing. Their dad, my husband, is in charge of them right now. So they could be sleeping, but they're not ready to be part of a live yet because they just want to be held. So we adopted 2 kitten brothers in December, shortly after my last play date, and so we have been enjoying babies in the house, baby fur babies. So let's put together a simple focal point for our beautiful cards. I'm going to bring out this little, so the details of these flowers on this piece are peach pie. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of peach pie just for some interest. And I'm going to put together a focal point with using punches. And I'm going to use this stamp set, which coordinates with the new To the Point label punch. So let me show you where that is. Okay, so here is this stamp set called To the Point. Nope, it's not. That's the name of the punch. The stamp set's called Bright Borders. And then there's another stamp set called Hugs for You. I can't even read. Hugs for Love, which is actually bundled with this punch. So you could get them separately. You could get this bundle, and then you could get the other stamp set, and you would have a lot of different already pre-made designs that are going to add some detail around this punch. So I'm going to use this one because it kind of mimics the leaves in the flowers. Okay, so this is Old Olive. Oh, Roxanne, you're finishing up your Christmas cards. I feel you. I did not send out my Christmas cards this year. And I don't like that. True confessions. Okay, so I'm going to make this a thank you card and put one of the greetings inside there. And then this fun little stamp set has a little background and then some little like accent pieces. So I'm going to take the Lemon Lolly and just put some yellow, like that'll kind of bring the card base out. I'm just going to put that right behind my greeting. So I get you, Roxanne. We had a very difficult December with some family things, and then we got kittens, and yeah, it didn't get done. Anita's gonna have her basement redone. Kim's working on a card challenge. Diane's working on birthday cards. Thank you. The kittens they're super cute. I should have brought a picture of them. I've posted a couple videos on my Facebook page, so if you want to see what they look like. Okay, so what I'm going to do are combine these two punches together. This is the Modern Oval punch, and it just works really nicely with this. And to bring in that other yellow color, I'm going to bring in the ribbon that goes with the suite. This is Daffodil Delight, tiny 1/8" ribbon. And I'm just going to put a real loose bow underneath. So I'm just going to kind of make a figure 8 with that ribbon and let those ends stick out like that. So I'm just pinching it right in the middle. And then we'll put some dimensionals down to make it stick. set that on top. Like that. Okay, so when you put your greeting or your little focal point on this particular template, you really can put it, you could put it up here if you really want to see those angles, but where they connect is always a really good place. Just as long as you can see the this line on top and bottom, and then this one, you're still going to get the effect of those angles. That's where I'm going to choose to put most of the embellishments. And then I have 2 already made. We'll just finish these up. The oval is peach pie cardstock. So that's why it looks a little bit different, but I can see how on the camera it does look like it could be the Daffodil Delight. This is really more the color of Daffodil Delight. It's just a darker yellow than the Lemon Lolly. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and use these little bee guys. We're just going to put 1 on each since they're kind of metallic. And they're teeny tiny. Hello, Pat. I just showed your snowman earrings that I'm wearing. Look at that tiny bee. So cute. Okay, so this is our basic technique. Let's change it up a little bit with our next round of cards. I agree, Wendy. This is what we need to look at today when the outside is white out. It's just all white. I think we have over 14 inches here in Springfield. Does that sound right? Local peeps. That's kind of unprecedented for us. All right, so I wanted to show you. So this is online exclusive paper, which I have showed before. It's called Everyday Skies. So this is new in the online exclusive store, and it has these beautiful skies. And so you can actually, that first angle that you cut, where you measure 1 1/4 and 2 on the other side, that angle all by itself just makes such a really pleasing card front. So if you're like, I don't want to do all 3, just do the 1 angle and it just looks so pretty. Of course, I turned these to make them landscape cards, but they can go portrait or landscape. So that is, and this got that really pretty new gold. It's ribbon, looks like webbing. So I tried to make a set with almost every paper. Now, of course, when you only cut it into 2, that means you only need 2 sheets. You don't need 3 sheets. So if you're making multiples, just keep that in mind. And then I tried it with, this is also an online exclusive paper. which has some great black and white pieces in it. It's called Mixed Media Florals. So there's the piece I used. It's just so bright and happy. Kind of has like a watercolor wash with that nice black outline. And then here are the other sides with just great coordinating patterns. But they're all different style. So I think it's really a flexible pack of designer series paper. There's also like some memories and more cards that go with this mixed media suite. There's a stamp set that makes it really fun. All right, so these are, again, our 3 patterns. So if you kind of follow our rule of thumb, I picked one that has all the colors in it, and then something that just kind of coordinates. There's our stripe, and then something that just really blends together and contrasts a little bit. So there's that one. Okay, then I had to go back to our amazing birthday suite. I think this is one of my favorites in this catalog. Okay, so this paper is called Wildflower Birthday. Has foil in it, so it's specialty paper, and it coordinates with this bundle. The paper completely stands alone if you don't need a great birthday set, but I'm super excited to have numbers and this pocket die, but the paper is so great because it has ephemera, so you get 2 sheets of this ephemera that is foiled. And then all these beautiful patterns. So one side has foiling. And this one can be cut up into card fronts or little accent strips, tags, and then the back sides are coordinating more subtle supporting patterns. Okay, so with our Wildflower Birthday, let me share those cards again. So we've got just a simple focal point on there. Now you see how the patterns I picked, these 2, kind of have the same level of busyness in them. So you see when you kind of look at them, you really, your eye almost jumps right to the gingham because these 2 are fighting each other. Now I'm not saying it doesn't look okay. I think it absolutely does. It's still very pretty, but hopefully you can tell the difference between how these patterns come together as opposed to these. I love this saying, Happy Cake Day. It's 3 different words that come in that stamp set. And then you get like little flower accents and this banner. It's a pretty fun bundle. Okay, so we're learning, right? This is the first set I made, and then, you know, I decided I needed to do some things a little differently. All right, so the next pack of paper that I used is from the Storybook Moments Designer Series paper. This is also a specialty pack of paper because there's 2 sheets of ephemera, very similar to the birthday set. There's no foiling, so you get little critters, gardening themes. Here's our little focal points. Oh, so much fun. Kind of looks antique-y a little bit. And then of course, you get all the little punch outs of the little critters. So even though this kind of like screams Easter a little bit, right? Or spring, I can really, I'm trying to see it like when I pull the pieces apart and use them separately, I can see that they're just really cute, like critter things, right? So I made these specifically like just to, you know, be like a friendship card, or it could be for a birthday. And so when you kind of just use one of the pieces at a time, it doesn't really like scream Easter, right? So these papers definitely have better contrast than the cake ones. Look at that guy with the rake. So cute. Okay. Let's now officially move on to the next set of cards. And this is very similar to the first thing that we did, but let's just do it. Let's just make a few changes. Okay. So let's just say you have one piece of paper that you really like, and you don't nothing else coordinates with it. That is not the case with this particular pack of paper, but sometimes you get a pack of paper where there's just really one piece that has all the colors or has the pattern that you like, and then you need to like kind of find other things that go with it. So this is page 31. This is the Ocean Friends of the Ocean Suite. The paper is called Ocean Friends. And it's another great design pack that has all these sea critters. On one side, and then the coordinating patterns on the back. So you've got pumpkin pie, calypso coral, melon mambo, some berry burst, some summer splash, and then little pops of lemon lime twist in here. Great color combinations. Okay, so what we're going to do a little differently here is we're going to just use one piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to use two pieces of cardstock. So I have lemon lime twist and mellow mambo here. We're going to stamp on one, and we're going to emboss the other. So I'm going to let's do the embossing first. This is the Soft Waves embossing folder. Should I do the waves? I think I'll do the waves. The waves. Yes, let's do that. We'll do it side to side like that. This is a 3D folder, so I'm going to use the specialty plate. Oops, did I forget to take off the... I did. So if it doesn't go in, don't force it. I forgot to take that plate off. This is like magic every time. How many times have we dry embossed? And every time it is just magical. So then on this one, we're going to stamp. So I didn't get the Ocean Friends stamp set. I just got the paper. And so I've been really enjoying this linked together bundle because of the words. This is page 49. So this bundle has dies and a stamp set and decorative masks for doing like stenciling designs. But I really am enjoying the simplicity of these dies. And then of course, all of the greetings that kind of build different sentiments when you put them together. So I'm going to put, I'm going to use So Happy For You as my main focal point greeting. And so I want to create a background with words with a different one. So I'm going to pick a happy day to be a background. Let's pull up my scratch paper here. So I'm just going to take the time to stamp this. I'm going to layer it like bricks. And just kind of go off the edge. So I'm using Melon Mambo ink on Melon Mambo cardstock, so I just kind of get this nice tone-on-tone look. That's magical too. Just make a background with the greeting. Now we're ready to cut. So we'll see if these will cut at one time. I'm going to sandwich my designer series paper in between. Actually, let me do it this way. Sometimes when you use an embossing folder, the way that it presses the cardstock kind of makes those fibers, weakens the fibers. So sometimes it will not cut as well. So I want this one to be on top. Okay, so like I said, I'm just gonna eyeball this now. I'm kind of thinking 1 1/4, 2 inches. And by the way, if I didn't say it before, when you go to cut your stack, cut, and shuffle, the sides that you want showing of your patterns have to be facing up. Okay, so this cut almost everything. There we go, okay. And then we'll turn this, and we'll kind of imagine 2 inches up, and then 2 3/4 inches up this way. So I'm just looking back at my pattern to make those quadrangles. Okay, so it kind of almost cut through there. A little bit easier. Okay, so the other thing I did a little bit different is that instead of cutting these down to 4 by 5 1/4, I left these starting papers at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's going to just cover the entire front of the card. And so that's why my card bases are just basic white. Okay, so before we can glue, we have to shuffle. So we'll shuffle this one once, shuffle this one twice, and now we've got our homemade fun papers that we have coordinating together. This also helps stretch your designer series paper if you use some cardstock for one of these corners, right? To accent. Okay, so you see how it looks even a little bit different when you just covers the whole front of the card without the border around it. You may still have to trim it. That is so bright and happy. We We got somebody snow blowing out here. And it's still coming down. Winter is fun, right? It's a good time to just sit and hold kittens, which is what I've been doing. Okay, and the last one. I like that wave. Has a lot of like, it just like has a lot of energy to it with the lines going in different directions. All right, there's our 3. So I used this stamp set, as I said, to make the focal point. I used this oval, and I thought these looked kind of cool. They actually look like the underground coral. I'm going to put "So Happy for You." So we're going to stick that right there at that intersection. And we're just going to have these kind of come up like the coral. Straighten that out just a little bit. There we go. And then I already cut the flower out of that summer splash just to add one last pop of the final color here in this paper. So we have the one sheet, right, that has all these different colors in it, and then we just pulled them out, our 2 main colors, and then the rest of the colors are just going to be little accent colors. So I shouldn't have glued that right onto my card. Okay, let's finish this with some dimensionals. This is another bright, happy combination for a snowy day. Okay, so you can leave these loose, or you could kind of glue them down. I'm going to just glue the top of this one so it doesn't get bent in the envelope. Okay. Part of that Ocean Friends suite are these nice big jewels in the coordinating colors. So we'll use one of those on our flower. Hey Judy, I hope your foot's feeling good today. At least hopefully you can't feel it. There's our simple little cards. You can do this, right? This is a great template. Okay, one of the things that I thought would be cool to share with this template is how you could transfer this to other projects, okay? So I'm going to show you one other thing here. So this is another example of just kind of doing something a little bit different. And so one of the pieces is just gold foil because there's some foiling in this Marbled Elegance designer series paper. So those two go together, and then I just made a pop of gold on there. Here's that great new punch to the point behind the largest circle punch. So that looks really great together too. And then what if you wanted to just get crazy and you wanted to make one more cut? You could just do something like that across that way and give yourself 4 quadrangles. And then you've really got just some neat angles in this card. Okay, so you can say here, because I wanted to really showcase those angles, I also just put the focal point in one of, near and around one of the quadrangles. This paper is called Beautiful Bokeh. It's designed using the bokeh photography type effect. 6x6, some of our beautiful main colors there. And then the back side is kind of more splattery. And so I picked 2 of those designs and then 2 pieces of cardstock where I again stamped on one, embossed the other, just to give it a little bit of a different look. Okay. Hi Nydia. Hey Sarah. Okay, so what I want to show you I'm going to zoom back out so we can see more of the table. So I was thinking, how could I use this template on a scrapbook page? So we were able to get family pictures taken when the kids were home for Christmas. So here's some of them. And I promised myself I would do more scrapbooking this year. So I'm keeping that promise so far. But I thought this was a perfect template to just transfer to a scrapbook page because the design lends itself. Okay, so let me just show you a couple things. So obviously we wore shades of green here. And so when you're scrapbooking, and this is just one little thing about scrapbooking, right? You want to pick paper that enhances your photos, because scrapbooking is really not about the scrapbook page. It's all about the photos and how you like enhance them and make them really stand out. And so the greens that we picked really aren't Stampin' Up! Colors. They are, it's like our soft succulent and what was it called? Forest foliage that we had a couple of years ago. They were in colors. They're more of those greens that have the blue tones under them. And so I was trying to use the color coach just to help me, like what's gonna, what can I see that's close to these colors that will help me enhance them. And so I was kind of leaning towards these blue greens over here, even though this darker green is almost like a shaded spruce. But even this one has a little bit more, so it's leaning towards the yellow greens, which these were definitely like blue-green. So I was kind of just looking over here. And if you use the color coach, so I'm looking at complementary colors, those are the ones that are opposite the wheel, it brings me over to like the pinks. So I would try to like really contrast with these pictures if I would do like pinks or reds, which I could, because these, like, that's Christmas colors, right? But then I was looking at the triadic in the middle here, these smaller ones, and just really focusing like kind of right here between Pool Party and Lost Lagoon. Here's Pool Party. So you can kind of see how that blue is in the colors, even though it's not exactly. If I look at the color combinations here around these colors, like between Lost Lagoon and Pool Party, it shoots me over here to the oranges, and then it shoots over here to like those darker pinks that are kind of like warmer, like Fresh Freesia and Moody Mauve, Pumpkin Pie. And so that just gave me some guidance, right? That just like to help me go look at my paper. And so I did a couple things. So you can just see my journey here. So I first so here's Lost Lagoon and Pool Party, right? They're not quite the right colors. So I just wanted to see what that would look like with them. I tried with the Moody Mauve, like, let's just see what they would look like with the mauve. And that really like makes a nice contrast, right? So it's like, if you think of the complementary colors that are like straight up Christmas colors, real red and shaded spruce, but then you kind of soften them to a softer green and a softer red. That's kind of how you get this contrast. So this would work, right? And I wanted to just play with like this tack of paper here, almost has Soft Succulent. This is the Frames and Flowers. So we've got Peacock and the Blushing Bride and some Calypso Coral. So you can see putting that on the more blue Peacock, like that definitely brings out those greens, right? And then it should be going with like peach, but do you see how the faces change when it just like washes everybody out? So you just want to, I'm sharing this process with you because even if you just want to make a framed picture sometimes you have to play with your papers in a totally different way. Because you've got the element of your pictures in there, right? Now you could print these black and white and then you could put them on whatever you wanted to match the decor, but I just kind of wanted to show you the process. So what I decided after all of that was that my paper really just needed to be neutral because the greens were just so bright. Excuse me. And so I went back to one of our papers from last year that was still available, and I just love the Nature's Sweetness because it just has white, gray, a little pop of copper clay, and then it has some foiling in it with the gold. And so would be considered neutral. And so let me see what you think here. Here is a page with the same shape as the quadrangle card. And if I just use a little bit of that copper clay as an accent color, you can see how the focus just brings it back, the focus to the pictures. That's what I'm trying to say. So let me just show you. I haven't put these together. I will have to finish putting these together so I can share them. Here's the opposite page here. So I can do a layout with all the pictures. You can see how when you put them together, you even get this nice little shape here. Okay, so what I wanted to actually show you was how to cut the papers. If you're thinking scrapbooking. All right, so I'm going to make a one-page framed piece for these guys because they just got engaged and married this year. And so they took pictures with their rings while we had family pictures. And so I wanted to make something just for them. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to put these two pieces together to make our first cut. And then we're going to add one piece. Okay, so usually when you scrapbook, you don't make 3 pages at one time. So I'm doing this a little bit differently. It's not quite like a stack, cut, and shuffle. So I'm going to do that first cut. And that will give us two different pages that have that beautiful angle in them. Okay. And then I want to use this little bit of striped, because it has that pool party in there, to be the piece that goes like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is give myself enough paper to just go, looks like 8 inches will work. Okay, so I'm giving myself this on the bottom. It's going to overlap like that, and then I'm just going to cut up to here, from here to here. Not measuring. So now when I tape this, and I'm just doing this because I want you to see that your templates can be used for other things as well, especially if you are into memory keeping. Like that. Okay, so that's how we have those together, and then of course I will probably pick that pool party for them because it's really going to pop, and mount their picture on that with some of the other pictures, right? Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to finish this, but I wanted you to see the process of how you could use this template on a scrapbook page as well. And then of course you've got the opposite page that you can put together on the other side. And you could, if you have paper that doesn't have a pattern, right, you can choose to do it. You can flip it around, right, and do it either way. So I'm super excited to add that in. But let's bring our cards back. Thank you for letting me share that little bit of color work with you. And we'll bring our cards back. And then you can share what pack of paper you're thinking about trying this template on first. And I'm going to read the comments here. These come together so fast. This looks like I've been making cards for days, but that's not true. I'd made all these in one day. So it is very simple. Thank you, Sarah. Let's see. All right, which one is your favorite set, and what are you going to make first? Kim likes soft succulent and evergreen. Evening evergreen. Yes, I got that wrong. What did I call it? Forest foliage. That was an older dark green that we had. And I think before that we had Handsome Hunter, maybe? Does that sound right? We had some other dark greens. Hi, Tamara. Hi, Donna. Nidhi is making rainbow thank you cards. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Michelle. Hey, Deb. Hi, Petey. Hi, Lynn. Hey, Betsy. Anita likes the first set with the yellows. Yeah, those really pop, don't they? Handsome Hunter is correct, right? Okay, Lisa. Yeah, I don't, that color is old. Oh, this would look so pretty for Valentine's Day cards. Even just using 3 different Valentine's Day colors, you know, a red, a pink, and a white in these quadrangles would look so cute. Beth likes the Under the Sea papers. Thank you, Catherine. Hi, Gwen. Ooh, that's a good idea to try it in a bullet journal spread. Yeah, I was thinking about even an 8.5 by 11 framed, if you wanted to frame a picture that was like 5 by 7 and you made an 8.5 by 11 background to put in a frame. Kathy, I love that idea. She said sometimes she's seen this idea where you cut it from the 4" by 5 1/4 designer series paper, but then you mount it with space in between the lines, and so it kind of looks more like stained glass or a mosaic. I love that idea. Hi, Cheryl. All right. Forest foliage. Yes, love the greens. Tamara likes the one with the waves. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for welcoming in the new year of paper crafting playdates with me. I hope that you learned a little something today and are inspired to go make the cards, because the world needs you to send out your beautiful sunshine made with paper. And I hope that you have time to craft very soon. And until next time, thank you so very much. Bye.